Well, good morning. We are edging ever closer to Christmas, and it is once again a rainy day, and I am starting this vlog indoors, so I hope you don't mind, but listen to this. Can you hear that? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it is a gray, unforgiving, cold, wet December day, which is extremely typical for us here in Toronto, Canada. I think a lot of people think we're living in a winter wonderland, and we are sometimes in January and February, but December tends to be a cold, wet month. The temperatures don't go below freezing all the time, so therefore you're not guaranteed of snow. So 41% of the time we get a white Christmas here in Toronto, and the other parts, which is the majority of the years, we do not. So with that, I thought I was gonna put a little makeup on and still get on with my day, but first things first, I did want to ask you guys to leave me a comment. So if you're watching this, let me know in the comments below if you live somewhere where it snows. Not like if it's ever snowed once, but if it snows regularly. So I'm just curious to see, I'm gonna guess the majority of you live somewhere it does not snow. Just, leave an emoji even, like a snowflake, or if you do have it, or, leave a sunshine if you never get any snow, or just write yes or no, that kind of thing. But I think it would be fun for us to have a look and see what everybody's climate is like. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Helen. This is the Helen Avery channel. We talk about all kinds of things, life through my lens as a lifestyle journalist. And you may formerly know me from lots of the hair content that I have done in the past. I've made over 400 videos regarding hair loss and products that can help you, and testing shampoos and things of that nature. And I'm not done entirely with that world, but we've shifted a little bit right now anyway to Vlogmas content, because we're coming up on Christmas and I'm making lots of vlogs. Now I have just put on a nice layer of Revlon Color Stay. I use shade 220, and I've been saying in previous vlogs that this is going to be discontinued because I could not find it anywhere on the Revlon website. Well, my sleuth of a mom looked online for me, and she says that actually it seems like they're reformulating. So there's one that's going to be shaped like this. It's going to look much like this, but it's going to be formulated, and it says now the words hyaluronic acid on it. But if you're a foundation sort of person who's kind of particular, as we all are, because you find one that you like, I suspect it's going to be reformulated, and we're not going to like it as much, but I guess time will tell. And if this is you and you want to find out, I will buy the new one to compare it to this one when I do see it on the shelves, which is not yet. What I'm seeing right now is a dwindling supply. Imagine if I spent the whole vlog in here. Promise you are gonna go out. Okay, this is my favorite blush combo bronzer, and it's just really easy to put on, and it is Bare Minerals Bronzer. Have you guys used Bare Minerals? I used to use it back in the day, the foundation, which was just basically this, but powdered in my skin color, and I thought I looked so good, but I know that going back, it kind of left a sort of glittery, powdery kind of look, which was kind of the thing, I think, back then. They kind of really ushered in a sort of more matte, powdery foundation kind of look, which kind of subsequently went out of style. I find blush to be essential right now, because otherwise I look very, very pale, very, very drawn, which is not, surprisingly, not the look that I'm going for. Okay, just very quickly in terms of lipstick, sometimes people ask me what I use when I'm wearing a more pink color, and it's just this very old multi-palette that I have from Revlon, that I just kind of take a little of these different colors, and that's why it kind of looks slightly different every time, which I like. I don't have a problem with that. Hold on, let me just finish this off first. Okay, I just like to put on enough so that my lips look like they're live. Things look a little different is because I have a new vlogging camera. Isn't it cute? My husband bought it for me. I was complaining that I couldn't really afford it back in the summer, or rather I wasn't really making enough income here to be able to justify buying this, because, this is sort of my hobby. My husband very kindly purchased it as an early Christmas gift for me, and isn't it cute? It is the Sony and I say Z because I'm Canadian, ZV-1F, which is a brand new camera out from Sony that just came out, I'd say about a month and a half ago. Isn't it adorable? It is so small and light. I've got it on a tripod, like the proper vlogger that I am, I guess, aiming to become. And look at this tiny little windscreen that it has. It's like a little tiny wig. It makes it look like Ernie from like Bert and Ernie. It is just the cutest thing. I actually don't need this right now because I'm inside and it's not windy, but I put it on and I didn't take it off because I just think it's just so cute. But anyhow, if you see a slightly different coloring, if you noticed any kind of difference, that would be interesting for me to hear about. So let me know in the comments if you think it looks good or not. I'm finding that the colors are a little bit different. I gotta get used to them. I'm looking more white, more pale. This feels like it has a bit of almost a grayish filter compared to the more yellows of the Canon, but anyhow, that's very nitty gritty inside baseball news, and I apologize if you're not here at all for that, but we will crack on with the rest of the day. So I work as a writer and sometimes as an editor, but primarily as a writer, and I actually have something due tomorrow. This is Wednesday that I'm filming this, and this is gonna be posted on Thursday. It's now 10 o'clock, and forgive me, it's so dark in here, and there's not much I can do. It is just dark as dark can be on the outside. Look at that. It is a gray day. It honestly looks like it's 4 p.m., but it is not. I've got to sit here for the next hour, and what I like to do is finish things, and this is just how I work in general. If you're a student, I think you can use this. If you're just anybody who needs to turn in drafts on things, I think this is a piece of useful advice. I try never to write the day before that it's due. Does that make sense? So this is due on Thursday. So today's Wednesday. So today is my day to review and fix, because I find that often that takes a very long time as well. And that's the day that I always leave to hone things and make sure I get them just right when I'm working on a tighter deadline. If I'm working on a longer deadline, I would leave myself a bit more time. But this is something that I write weekly. So yeah, I've got to try and get that in, and I'll be spending the next hour just rethinking my thoughts, just spending it trying to read it as if it was not me writing it, as if I were a complete stranger coming to the words. So that is what I'll be focusing my attention on this very dark morning for the next while, but I promise we will get out and about and have a look around. Well, I can assure you that it is as bad as it looks out here. It is windy, it is cold, it is all the things that I don't like about this time of December when it's not snowy and pretty. Just gonna pop into the car. I've got to run an errand at Dufferin Mall, and while I'm there, I'm just gonna grab some lunch. That seems to make sense to me, so I can do all those things at the same time. They have a food court that is, well, it is what it is, but I do love the Greek food there a lot. So I'm a simple girl. Just a plate of simple Greek food makes me very, very happy, even from a food court. I have arrived, and I'm just gonna nip into Marshall's to do my quick errand, and then it will be lunchtime. I'm getting a headache, so I don't think I'm gonna stay here long. Back in my mask because everybody around me is sick. I feel like flu season is taken off like crazy, so I will be indoor masking from now on. Okay, here it is, Jimmy the Greek. We've got lemon potatoes, souvlaki, chicken souvlaki, rice, and a nice Greek salad. Back home now, and it's not even 1 p.m. yet, so that was good. I'm fed, I'm watered, I'm coffeeed now. I was able to grab coffee from Tim Hortons, which is kind of like a step up from Dunkin' Donuts, but it's like a really famous Canadian coffee chain and donuts chain, and I picked myself up a donut, of course, because I could not resist. I'll show it to you. They had a really cute one with a little tiny gingerbread man. He was like this big on the top of the donut, but I didn't go for that one because that's kind of not my thing, but I did get this one. Ooh. Which is a pretzel double chocolate donut, and it's even got a little bit of whipped cream on the top, so I will save this for later on, I guess. That'll be my dessert tonight. I'm not gonna have it now. Right, there's a massive windstorm going on, and I think that's what's contributing to my headache, because sometimes I get headachy. Do any of you suffer from like seasonal headaches and migraines? I do when it rains, and sometimes when there's like a fluctuation in the humidity. Those tend to be two things that sort of set me off. But anyway. All right, we're gonna get on with the rest of the afternoon. Look how cute this cup is. There's no place like Tim's. Oh. This is not my favorite coffee, but it was there, and I knew that it might help with my headache a bit because sometimes caffeine helps me a little bit. I mean, look at this weather. It is, ugh. It's not a nice one. I don't think I showed you guys how these paper bag snowflake crafts ended up looking, but here they are. That's a good 5 of them, and I will show you the other set that I have, which is just in the front of my house here. There they are. I think they look really pretty. They were easy. So if you want to learn how to make these, just head to my last vlog that I put up just a couple days ago, and I will show you exactly how to make these. All you need is like a bunch of paper bags, like the kind that you put lunch in, like lunch bags basically, and glue and scissors and a bit of time. And I've even got one hanging over there, and that might be my favorite one of all. I think they're really kind of cute, but also impactful. not too blingy. I really like them. Moment of truth.
Online dating is a nightmare.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday. We got a little bit of snow overnight. It looks really nice, but it's gonna definitely melt. I can see it over there melting. And just a much brighter day, which I am looking forward to. Last week we chatted about different wardrobe combinations. It was like a winter capsule wardrobe vlog, so go ahead and check that out if you are interested. And then the one before that, we had a look at all my different sort of winter coat combinations that I like to wear this time of year in December, where the temperature fluctuates a lot. So today, let's have a look at winter shoe boot combinations that are appropriate for me here in December now. Don't be alarmed, I have a lot of different choices. You don't need all these different choices if you're visiting. Plenty of women just get by with just a pair of boots and a pair of like office shoes and I guess running shoes for the gym, and you can live your life however you want to. I've just accumulated a lot of different pairs and I like to have choices. I like to have options because as you can see, our climate is just so variable. So I will show you what I've got. Let's have a look. Okay, just a very quick outfit of the day, which is I am wearing my Lacoste blazer that I've had for many, many years. You would have seen this piece in the last video where I talk about it a little bit more. Underneath I've got this polo cotton button-up shirt, and I decided to kind of go a little bit old school. This sort of style has been not the most in, but I still like how it looks, where you've got the button-up shirt and the piece of costume jewelry that picks up the tones that are in my jacket. And then we're gonna look, okay, I promise you this is not what we're here about. Oh, and I meant to mention just, dress pants that are comfortable and stretchy. They've got the elastic on the sides because that's the point of my life that I'm in. Let's look at shoes now. So here's my little winter selection of shoes, boots. I've collected these over 10 years, so, you definitely don't need 6 pairs to get you through the winter. But I'm going to tell you, and I've got them organized sort of lightest weather to coldest weather. At the front here, I've got my New Balance, which I like this pair. I like the fresh foam. I have hip bursitis lately, so I'm finding that I need extra padding. These are wonderful for that. My all-time favorite sort of fall, lighter, sort of cold shoes that I would wear today, even with that little bit of snow, they would be fine, are these Doc Martens. And I'm sorry that I didn't clean them, but I wanted to show you guys, and sorry that these boots are a little bit floppy. Move those out of the way. These are my absolute favorite. They are not the Doc Martens that we grew up with the super thick rubber sole. They have the thin sole, and they're very soft. Okay, I have to wash my hand now because I just touched the dirty top of that boot. But yeah, they're just so soft and supple. They feel actually like slippers. I love them. They're called the Layton, and they're not made anymore, I don't think. Last time I had a look, they're not on the website, which is a bit of a shame. They're such a good pair. Next up, riding boots, or just like long black boots, whatever you want to call them. What is cool about these and what I like about them is that they are partially fabric and partially leather here, so they're not too hot. These are from Nine West, and again, don't think it's new. I don't think this is a newer style, so I'm not sure if these are available anymore. I got these on Poshmark, brand new in the box. Someone didn't want them anymore. I guess she just bought them and she just literally never wore them, and I got to benefit from getting them at, I don't know, half the price. So hunter boots, surprisingly, even though I don't live in like England or something like that, are actually the boots that I wear the most here because we have tons of slush, which I think is something that people don't account for because I live in the city. Soon as a car passes that beautiful fresh snow, it turns it into gray mush basically, and then they salt the roads and that makes more slush, and then that ruins any of the leather that you see here. So I find that actually when it's not too freezing cold, hunter wellies have been my best bet. This pair is absolutely ancient, extremely busted looking, and yet they still work. So therefore, I'm a big fan of just splurging on hunter. I think that some sort of shoe designers have sort of hopped into the sort of Wellington rubber boot world, and they just don't make them as well. Whatever the process is for like the rubber, the sealing it, these just go and go and go. Definitely worth the extra money if you want to invest, because it is like an investment, but it's not crazy. I think it's like under $200, which maybe is a lot for rubber because you can get them for $20, but I've bought many of the $20, $30 pairs and they bust after 1 year. Totally not worth it. So I've had these forever and they just keep going. So what happened was I saw another pair on sale at Marshall's, not recently. I've had these now for about 2 years, and they are sort of gray, almost more modern look. And yeah, I mean, I would have liked for them to be black or something darker. And it does say hunter there very subtly, but again, so good. I find that the slight elevation keeps my feet from actually getting cold, which is kind of nice. And so the pair that I absolutely hate, I wish I didn't have, because when I have to wear these means the weather's bad and I don't want to be living here at that time, because I'm not a February fan. Some people really relish the deep winter. I don't. I don't like the ice. I'm tired of the winter at that point. So who knows what's gonna happen in the vlog. I'm hoping maybe that we'll have a vacation vlog somewhere in the midst of that, because yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna show them to you. These are just so ugly. They remind me of someone's granny just struggling in the winter here. And you know, tell me if you remember this scene. Back in the day, it wouldn't be unusual to see a woman driving her car with her belt from her coat out of the car, like you could see it sort of dangling on the road. That was, for me, a very common sight. I think back in the 80s and 90s, where women had much longer belts on their coats, and you know, a belted coat was like the only thing you would wear to work. Anyhow, sorry for that aside, but these remind me of like that vibe. But the kind of cool thing about them is, and I don't know what the brand is. Yeah, it doesn't say. This is just an inexpensive pair that I just desperately needed, because it got very, very icy last year and I did not want to fall down and crack my head. But the cool thing about these, and the reason I got them, is they've got the grip here. So this folds up, and it's a bit rusty, as you can see. But it folds up when you don't need it, and you know, welcome to Canadian things. And if you're from like Minnesota, you will know what I'm talking about as well. And it flips open when it's icy out, and then you get a sharp grip. It's not so sharp that it would cut me, but it's a sharp grip to keep you from sliding. So when they're not in use, you just flip them back up. Now the downside is, of course, that they get a little bit rusty, as you can see here, but that doesn't affect their effectiveness. I hope I don't have to wear these in December. I do not want to look at these until, actually I never want to look at these, but I think that realistically I'll be wearing them in about a month from now. So those are the winter shoes and boots that are going to keep me going all winter long. I'm not planning on buying any other pairs, unless, of course, I see something I love. No. Okay, I won't. I've got plenty to keep me going, and I'll have them for years, you know. Other than the running shoes, which I generally have to replace because I'm a pretty high volume walker, runner, whatever you want to call it, exerciser, I will have them for years and years. My favorite pair, I think, at the Mo are these. I really do love them. I'm so glad that I bought them. And I think that anyone in a colder climate can benefit from a long pair of black boots. They just look so good. If you haven't yet signed up for helenavery.substack.com, which is my newsletter, please go ahead and do so, because I've got some really great stuff there, stuff that we don't talk about at all here. In particular, I give out recipes. I have a really good bolognese pasta sauce recipe completely free. And I also have a really amazing double chocolate cake recipe called Death by Chocolate. This one you won't really find readily anywhere else on the internet. It is an obscure one, but I have pulled it out from my own archives of recipes that I love. It's completely free. So the way that the Substack works is every week I'm gonna send you one newsletter. I'm not gonna bombard you. I don't use it for anything else other than just writing stuff and sharing it with you guys. It's sort of my place where I get to do my writing and share my personality that way. And you'll find that I'm a little different in writing than I am on video. There is a certain sort of, well, you'll just have to read it yourself. The two recipes that I just mentioned are available in a roundup of really good things, December edition. I do these every single month, where I sort of send out a newsletter of all the things that I've really been loving this month. They can include recipes, articles, books. You're gonna like it. Just sign up, and if you don't like it, just unsubscribe. I'm out on a frosty walk, but good thing I'm nice and warm in my toasty parka. I'm going to show you a house that I often see in my neighborhood, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Here it is, and I think it's really lovely, but I can't figure out where the front is. Is that the front? I think that is actually over there. Definitely very beautifully restored and renovated. Let's see, you can get a bit of a gander. I just can't quite make heads or tails of why the entrance is off to the side like that, but it is nice. The time is finally here. We're gonna decorate now. I finally brought up some of my Christmas stuff, but we don't have the tree yet, which is gonna go over in that corner. I'm not sure that my husband's gonna have time tonight to get it. He and my son Killian usually carry it home. They don't put it on the top of the car or anything like that, because the tree lot is not that far from where we live. But in the meantime, I thought I would bring up some little bits and bobs and at least get started. This might be a 2-day thing. It is Friday and I've got a late start to the vlog today because I've just been so busy tidying up the house. I have family coming over very shortly for a Christmas get-together, but of course I need to decorate before then. So here's my wreath. This goes on my front door. I'll show you when that's all done if I remember. Here's my favorite nutcracker, and I've got his little barrettes on. I forgot that I stuck barrettes on him. These were actually sent to me by the topper company Lily Hair, and I park them on there when I'm not wearing them, which is most of the time. Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh. This guy is the funniest. He's a chef, as you can see. There's his gingerbread and his rolls and his spoon and his spatula. So cute. This here's my Noel marquee sign, which lights up, and I sort of put that in the front of the house so you can see it from outside. So I'll show you that as well. Changing up location of where I usually put these things a little bit, but I think I like the nutcracker there and this glass that I have full of ornaments just here in the middle of the fireplace. I may still move them, but I do apologize for any and all background noise. I've got the dryer going full tilt with like the wool dryer balls trying to puff up a jacket of my husband's actually that he's washing. I don't usually go in for paper plates and paper products, but I thought I'd give myself a bit of a break from the old dishwashing of it all. And I found these. They're so cute, aren't they? Look at this. Merry Grinchmas and Merry Grinchmas. Just adorable. This one is so cute too. Look at that. There's just so much to do. I'm starting to clean out some bowls to put out like appetizers, chips, dip, all that kind of stuff. I have this strange thing that was actually just a curbside find, but is kind of quirky and kind of fun. I think we'll put spring rolls on there. And just a jug. So anyhow, just putting these things through the dishwasher to get them undusted from last year, get them nice and clean. And so hopefully all the little light bulbs still work, and it says, Noel. This one actually faces outside, so it's something that you can see when you're walking by my house. Okay, it doesn't look that great yet, but when it's dark, you'll see that really shines pretty brightly. So the wreath hook is up, and now we're just gonna hang up the wreath. It's incredibly hard to do with your other hand. Actually, I'm right-handed, so I'm holding the camera with one and decorating with the other. And yeah, there's still lots of room to deposit my letters there. I think that looks pretty good. It has been a long day. Not pictured, of course, was all the work that I had to do because I work from home, but got a little bit of decorating done, not as much as I might have liked. We're gonna head out now for Japanese food. I'm going to get a couple clips for you guys. I am wearing my fake fur and my air quotes Chanel bag out. The tree has arrived. Whoa! Moment of truth.
Does it fit?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Perfect, actually. Here we are. Really, really pretty, but still all bunched up. It has to sort of relax. These branches are up here now, and I can't put any ornaments on until they relax and they kind of all come down, which they will do. The fragrance from this tree is absolutely amazing. We get a real one every year. I think I even have a video a few years ago of us getting a Christmas tree. Maybe I privated it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna give her a little drink right now. I was not anticipating having to record this, but we had some major Christmas tree drama. what ended up happening was the tree that we got, though very cute, was actually quite dry and all the needles were dropping like crazy. So Niall had to package it up and bring it back and just let the guy know at the lot that it was not the best tree. So he swapped it for a fuller one. I think he actually ended up paying a little bit more and upgraded to, I think, a balsam? Not exactly sure. I'll show you when we get home. Here we are, version 2, take 2, action. Well, we're starting all over again with a fresh new tree today, and I think this is a balsam spruce. Oh, I could be getting it all wrong, but you'll see this is a wider shape. And I kind of liked the taller, skinnier one because we're gonna have people over, and I thought there would likely be more room for people to walk around it. But Niall said this one just looked really nice and healthy, and it's very dense, as you can see. So this is a little bit of an upgrade from the other one. Kind of a shame, but the other one was just it was just dropping way too many needles. I noticed like within an hour, it seemed like a large amount had accumulated. It was kind of like, I noticed also at the end of the season, the trees are quite dry, and it felt more like an end of the season tree, like by the time you get to January. So I think it was just a dry one. So, Well, I hope that you forgive me, but the way that things worked out is I'm not gonna be able to decorate this because I've got to get this vlog up. So I promise in the next vlog, this will be all decorated, but I've really left things down to the wire here. And so when this one kind of comes down, we won't be able to put anything up on it until then. And guess what? Also, my Christmas lights broke. We just tested them and none of them are working, of course. Murphy's Law. So got to get some new Christmas lights. So therefore, doubly making it that I cannot get this done on time. I was so hoping to have this all decorated for you guys, but it'll wait till the next vlog. So just like, subscribe, stay tuned. It'll be up shortly. See you soon.